Hey everybody, welcome back to the Resident Evil 1 Remake Commentary. We're heading back to the mansion today's part now that we got the helmet key, which you can only get after defeating Plant 42.
Kind of a tricky thing the game does with the structuring is sort of making you think that you should be hunting down keys in the mansion at first, but you can't get all the keys until you leave the mansion and go through another area. Man.
At least I think the remake better explains why you can't just grab the helmet key and just leave the room with Plant 42. I think the fireplace you find the helmet key and is covered in vines.
Yeah.
Unlike the original game where the helmet key just sort of pops into its existence.
Well, you don't necessarily need an explanation for that. It's easy enough to fill in the mental blank. You can't necessarily look for a key and for a small item in a place like that while there's a giant plant trying to murder you. It's kind of distracting.
But nothing's stopping you from grabbing the death mask in the yawn battle early and just leaving.
The snakes are kind of graphically hokey compared to everything else in the game.
Yeah, you ignore my counterpoint.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. What was the counterpoint?
You said that you can mentally fill in the blanks for not looking or finding the item in a boss room because you're kind of distracted at them by the boss. I retorted with, there's nothing stopping you from grabbing the death mask in the yawn room and just leaving the room.
Yeah, well, I think that was only true in the remake, though.
My point
Weird.
stands.
Yeah, but this is also the game where they explain why you can't get the key. So, also a mask is a lot larger and easier to see.
Oh, the fatty pack. Just pop it in there. Forget about it. So anyway, Wesker a couple of times will just leave some extra ammunition and healing items.
Wow, what a
for
nice
you.
guy who's trying to murder us.
I think he gives you more stuff in lower difficulties.
At one point, he repairs a doorknob for you. Although
Oh,
in
fuck
Jill's
that doorknob.
In Jill's scenario, I think it's Barry who repairs the doorknob, but.
Yeah, it's something I don't really show off because I cut past all the backtracking and trips to the item room. But in the save room in the right wing of the mansion, there's technically a shortcut between the entryway to the courtyard and the save room there, but the doorknob is broken, and after, I think, 3 uses, it just falls off. Meaning, if you want to go back to that hallway from the right wing, you have to go roundabout way.
So why is Wesker helping us if he's
Because it's all part of the ruse. He's trying to lead the STARS officers to the lab to fight the tyrant.
So
he can get his
here's my question.
research data.
If you stick
Yeah.
a grenade in the mouth of a hunter and then leave the room, is it dead when you get back?
It is considered dead as soon as the grenade entered its mouth.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of Battletoads, but this is ridiculous.
To go back what we were saying earlier about how health is determined by HP values, well, numerical values, the grenade entering any monster's mouth, the enemy's HP immediately drops to 0.
So it's just straight up an instant.
Yeah.
So you're wasting it if you fight a monster halfway through its health bar and then you blow it up with a
Yeah,
grenade.
that's a waste.
Okay.
That's why he did it that way with the Crimson Head.
I hope you're not claustrophobic because this puzzle will definitely drive you nuts.
This puzzle's a little iffy, to be honest. The movement system isn't entirely on point for this kind of situation.
Chris, you're resting your hand on nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's one reason.
And your knees kind of going against the wall. It's just through the wall. Yeah, it's a bit of a timing puzzle. You gotta flick the switch and then immediately get back out because you're resetting the walls doing that. And then you push it back.
And then hope
Neato.
the wall doesn't close too quickly because it's going to push the statue right back against you.
Yeah. It'll at least go back to the center position, but you also gotta hope you're also in the center position, otherwise you're getting crushed.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where they replaced the that little hole sequence where we fought in the second yawn fight. The one that Barry helped Jill escape with the rope. They moved it here because this is where you find the hidden switch that lets you escape the hole.
Were the tyrant enemies in the not the tyrant the Battletoads? I don't know what their name is.
Hunters, I think. Yeah.
The hunters, were they in the original game?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay.
And the hole ends up being where George Trevor died.
Yeah. His tombstone.
I really
is here.
have no reason to think about going down this hole, but I thought about what my old college buddy James Go Down Hole Sunderland would do.
You should probably go down that hole. He always knows what to say.
Yeah, that's James Sunderland in a nutshell. Always diving down holes and digging new ones for himself.
I get it, because it can be both metaphorical and literal. There we go.
It's mostly literal. But the literal holes were metaphorical.
Wow, that's like the most meta thing I've heard in my entire life.
Welcome to Silent Hill.
James Sunderland's English teacher would love him.
Okay, you're never coming back to this room again, so don't bother wasting ammo on the spiders.
You can knife the spider.
You can, but why?
Why would you? Well,
I want a
actually,
legion of spiders.
I think about it. The spiders might be one of the easier enemies to knife because they have a sort of a wind-up to their attack.
That and they have to kind of slowly turn around if they want to face you to attack.
But now that we got a shotgun,
Time to pop some heads.
time to pop some heads.
I
got a shotgun.
Is the shotgun an instant headshot
No.
on the
No.
enemies?
No, in remake it's 60%. 60% chance.
You have to also get close up and angle the shotgun up for that to happen,
Yeah, but even then it's not guaranteed like it was in the original.
which bugs the shit out of me.
It does, me too, because what also sucks is that whether or not it blows the head off, you're still hitting the enemy with the shotgun, which means you'll kill it, but that also means, well, fuck, now I gotta burn it.
Well, it's still better than XCOM where your gun's pointed right like 2 feet from their face and you have a 67% chance of hitting.
That sounds like Morrowind.
Yeah, see right there. That didn't decapitate the zombie, but it's now dead. And so if you have to head back at some point, you probably should consider burning it.
Although you're never gonna head back through the kitchen, so
Yeah, that's our last trip to the kitchen, so we don't need to ever come back there.
I mean, God help whoever happens to want them there next, but
The Crimson Head can enjoy his kitchen trombones alone.
Speaking of the Crimson Heads, though, there is a thing about the second half of the game that slightly bugs me on a design standpoint, is that certain hallways where you encounter hunters, the zombie corpses that are there, well, they obviously don't want to put you in a situation where the hunter is there and you have to fight a Crimson Head at the same time. That would just be ridiculous. So they just compromise by eliminating the corpse entirely. So there are some zombie situations where you technically sort of wasted yourself kerosene if you burned a zombie there. So there is a point in the game where the Crimson Head system sort of doesn't do what it seems to be doing. And it kind of lets the game down a
Magnum
little.
Rats.
Yeah. Someone just...
At least it's only a few areas, though.
Yeah.
Because I do get why you would want to do that. Like, maybe that's something where on a harder difficulty, maybe they could leave those in unless you did burn them.
It's a point where they chose loyalty to the original game over designing the game with their new mechanic in mind, and it kind of lets the game down a little structurally. It's one of the few points in this game where I can confidently say the game design is a bit weak. But, overall a small flaw. Yeah, pump that shotgun. Reloading shotguns is always the best thing.
You always have to click it. Every time. Even if it's already loaded, you do it anyway.
I love the second shotgun in 7 because it's one of those shotguns that, you open it up instead of pumping it.
Yeah, the super shotgun from Doom.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Not just any shotgun.
Super
And
shotgun.
in Resident Evil 7, there are upgrades to your reload speed that you can find around the game. So one of the best things, the most satisfying things, is getting Ethan Winters, the Everyman, up to a point where he can reload the super shotgun in like 0.5 seconds. Where he just
Still
pops both bullets in and bam.
Still not as fast as Doom Guy.
I think it also does that thing where if you use one shot instead of two, you can get a quicker reload by just tactically reloading the one shot you wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Ryan, nobody's Doom Guy but Doom Guy, so...
Well, I mean, he got it from his granddad, B.J. Blazkowicz.
Uh-oh, the plot thickens.
Why did I write this down on a piece of paper?
And why did I leave it out?
Well, because I didn't have a whiteboard available, Wesker. Jeez.
We should have gone back and dealt with this stuff before we lured stars here. You should have noted that down.
You're an idiot, Wesker.
I'll leave a memo for the intern to clean it up after I leave.
This is a very bizarre puzzle.
Yeah, this room is in the original game, but this puzzle's completely new.
Damn it, John.
Anyway, there are 2 gems to find in here. You get them basically the same way, by walking underneath the motion sensing hawk thing and climbing the cabinet.
Yeah, for first time playing this game, I thought the hawk would shoot lasers out of its eyes. That's not what happens. It just closes.
Estate laser beams.
It just closes the gem's shutter. So it means you can't get it.
Yeah. So now there are 3 gems instead of just 2. Adding that to the 2 from the previous game, we have 5 Chaos Emeralds. Try again.
Oops.
Well, one more and I can 100% Sonic 1.
Yeah, well, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
And assault shotguns.
I have plenty of hand grenades.
Yeah, but they
He's
aren't
got a
Chaos
point.
Emeralds. So...
So yeah, I was able to one-shot that Crimson Head because the assault shotgun point blank does a lot of damage.
Yeah. It also has more ammo capacity. It's kind of like the reverse of how 7 handles it. When you find a better weapon in 7, the trade-off is less ammo.
Every gun becomes a single-use magnum.
Not necessarily single use, but pretty low ammo. Like, I think...
You just see Ethan with like a trench coat and it's like full of nothing but single shot.
Oh, so we're playing Drake of the 99 Dragons now, huh? Just firing off guns, throwing them away, and pulling out more guns.
Yawn.
Yeah, that game makes me yawn too. I love this library setting. It's so much better than just the bland-ass room you fight Yawn in the original.
Yeah, the chess piece room with the piano. Anyway, so something interesting happens because I let Yawn go past me this way. Well, you pay attention to the wall there behind me.
Nah.
Uh-huh.
What the hell?
What
What?
was that?
What?
He clipped
Through the wall.
Oops.
Hey, Chris, come back!
I guess even the best horror game ever made still has some bugs to work out.
Or snakes.
Well, they're arachnids. Spiders aren't technically bugs.
No, we dealt with bugs earlier.
Oh, yeah, the bees.
The zombie.
I wonder if that would have happened in the GameCube version or if it was a glitch introduced by the remaster.
No idea. Never happened to me until this commentary.
So the remake remaster runs at a better frame rate and is high resolution.
You have the choice to play it in 30 or 60.
Oh, wow. There's not a lot of games that let you do that.
Wait, what? 30 or 60? When do you get a choice to play at a different frame rate?
In the options menu.
I thought that was 4x3, 60x9.
I'm pretty sure you can cap the frame rate at 60, at 30 if you wanted to.
Oh, well, maybe that's a PC version exclusive thing. A lot of PC games have that kind of thing for monitors with different refresh rates now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think that's in the console version. But yeah, the game is natively 4x3, but to get it to widescreen,
GameCube,
they sort of just zoom in on the screen and scroll down or up.
Yeah, they crop the top and bottom part of the screen. I don't like that. I mean, it still works, but I generally don't like when they have to
It's
crop a bigger screen.
It's unfortunately just an aspect of having pre-render that you can't really avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I were playing it on my own time, I would definitely be playing in 4:3. I understand the choice to go to 16:9 for recording purposes, though. The black void.
I exited this closet and I aged a number of years and got huge. Now I'm a jerk and everyone loves
Now
me.
I am a fanny pack.
You're not wrong.
Somehow he looks more douchey.
Now,
in
this was the door that originally led to the room with the costume area in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't lead there now, but you do find the file in here that explains why the costume room is where it is. You can also see the costume room on the map. By the way, there's an empty space. They do still have the mirror room here, which is a nice inclusion, but it's sort of just a room that you can pick stuff up in.
Like, go away.
Didn't even try to headshot that one. I mean, oh yeah, why would you?
I'm never coming back here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the red
So
jewel.
this is what the red jewel's going for.
Yeah, for the. And now this is what I meant when I said they did some interesting stuff with the examine function, because now there are a few items in the game with puzzles attached to them, like actual jigsaw puzzles, apparently.
But those things always take like 1 to 2. Those like 9 to 10 years to make. Chris, that's the suggested earning age. But it always takes me that long, though.
I have a Barney the Dinosaur puzzle in my room from when I was 4 years old, and I still haven't been able to beat it. It's hard, man.
You have to open the box first. That's step 1.
What?
You have to start putting the puzzle together. That's step 2.
You're going to have to run that by me one more time. I'm not getting it.
I can't hear you, Jill. I'm trying to solve the horoscope.
And now we have an emblem key. Keys inside of keys inside of keys in this game.
So, is the only thing that they added for the remaster this Resident Evil 5 outfit?
Yeah, for this game specifically, yes.
Okay.
I think there was a ton of outfits added to Zero, though. And
They also added a ton of characters in Zero.
They also added in Zero a costume case that doesn't take up inventory space, so you can just switch on the fly, and it's great.
That's neat, yeah.
Yeah, and my favorite costume that they added to the Zero remaster is Classic Rebecca. At least I think they added that to the Zero remaster. I don't think it was in the original. Or if it was, I never found it. Because I like Classic Rebecca with her headband. It always amused me that this little medic girl ran around in a red headband. It's just like, I'm cool.
Wait, shouldn't she have infinite ammo?
Okay, so now if you want the best ending, you do have to save Rebecca here.
You have to save Rebecca immediately.
Yeah, I don't know what I know the Richard time limit is 4 minutes. I don't know what the Rebecca time limit is. I want to say less than a minute because she's actually just right above you.
Oh, right. And it's a good thing that doorknob's fixed.
Chris, this is an important situation. You should stop screwing around for just a moment.
But healing up the steels is faster.
I don't think this happens in the original either, does it?
It does.
It does? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what happens in Remake if you screw up, but in original, Rebecca gets outright decapitated by the hunter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. And isn't there also a situation where she can get shot by Wesker?
Well, no, that happens on a cutscene regardless.
I know exactly what to do, Rebecca. It's a comically oversized Battletoads. I'll hit it with a comically oversized boot.
That's a good thing Rebecca wasn't hitting anything with the buckshot.
Rebecca.
Chris.
You okay?
Now, it kind of makes me laugh that Rebecca would be in a room cowering from a hunter when she, 1v1'd a tyrant in Zero, so...
Fought a bleach monster and all that, yeah.
Stay cool.
Again, she was up for a long time. She just needs a good nap.
I can handle myself.
Yeah, she definitely needs a nap. She hasn't even noticed that Chris has gained like 200 pounds of sheer muscle.
Sorry.
Wait, is that you, Chris?
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of... Rebecca is like the big thing where, like, okay, it's the obvious character to make a prequel for, but when you do make a prequel for it, you kind of run into the problem of her being kind of helpless in this game, even though she just survived a game of her own and should be a seasoned veteran by now.
In the span of 3 hours.
Well, you don't get rusty in 3 hours, do you?
Oh, I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes if I stop playing a game for even 3 hours, I'm suddenly way
Wow,
worse.
that zombie was a tank. 2
Well,
headshots.
sometimes you...
The zombie had more health than a Crimson Head.
Did George Trevor just have a thing for tigers or whatever?
I mean, tigers are cool.
I mean, yeah, they are, but...
All right, we're gonna get the Mo disc.
Oh boy! Hey, I want to pay attention. I don't really examine the Mo discs in this game except for the test playthrough, but the emblem on the Mo disc says parasol and not umbrella.
It's their
Yeah.
shell company.
I I guess. Was umbrella originally supposed to be called parasol?
Maybe they have a subdivision called Parasol that manufactures Modiscs.
Or is their Chinese knockoff?
Parasol, which manufactures vampire viruses. Sure. I'll buy it.